What's up? Welcome back, everyone. In this episode, we're going to talk about adding Tailwind UI to a Rails application. So as you know, I don't usually make things look good. So if you've been watching my episodes, probably the last like 30 to 40 episodes have looked like this. Just bare bones HTML, whatever the browser gives me in terms of CSS, that's what I'm going to use. And that's because I am not a fan of CSS. I don't like tinkering around with it. It's kind of a huge pain in the butt. And it is quite bothersome to me. And I have like burned thousands of hours on trying to make stuff look good. And I have sort of just decided that there are people who are good at this and I'm just going to depend on them. But today I am excited because I wanted to try out Tailwind UI. It sounds like an easy way to just use these pre-built components for everything. And so admittedly, even though I've been writing code on the web since like 2005, so 16 years, I have never really properly learned CSS. And so I'm embarrassed to say that I like don't know, I barely know anything about CSS. But I'm excited to see this big, beautiful UI components crafted with Tailwind CSS. And I know everyone's been raging about this, so I just got to try it. And so what's interesting is they give you like a bunch of tools to try everything out. You can find the perfect component, copy the snippet, make it yours. It sounds like you just copy it and it looks beautiful. This Teresa Webb person is going to be the designer, right? So yeah, like having a dashboard here with Form 4s and companies and whatever and making it look cool. Sounds like a good idea. So let's just take a look at the pricing. So they've got the application UI. That's kind of like the dashboard stuff, I assume. Then there's the marketing UI. I think on the main page here, it shows you, so the marketing components, these are the different sections they give you. And then the application UI is like the sheets and the tables and the layouts and displaying data and stuff like that. So I kind of want both. And I think I'm just going to jump in and buy both of them. So we're going to go through the whole flow. I'm also recording this cold. I've never used it before. So like, I've touched a couple applications that have already had Tailwind installed, but I've never actually like set it up from scratch. So we're going to go through the whole process here from scratch and see how it goes. So, all right, diving in. Okay, we've got to put our email and password. Oh gosh. Nope, that's not a real card. Don't steal my credit card. All right, they're contacting my bank. Okay, so we purchased this thing. We're creating an account. Okay, so I created my account and there's a whole bunch of sections and components here. So this is what I wanted to dive in and like play around with and test out. So let's see if we can make this page not look disgusting and gross like it does right now. So this is just a table of data. And also like on the home page, this is kind of what I've got going on in terms of like the two different main views, the Form 4s view, and then we've got the company's view. And then for each company, we have like this stock chart view where we can see the prices for a given company. So this is kind of like, this is what I want to style. It should be pretty basic and straightforward. So let's take a look and see which component might make the most sense. So if we look at tables, sure. Simple striped table, simple with avatar. I think simple, sure. All right, so I'm just gonna like copy the HTML and then come back over to my table here and just paste the HTML and then come back to my view and refresh the page. Oh, yeah, because I didn't actually install anything. So how do I install this? Okay, so getting set up. So npm install Tailwind CSS at latest. There's probably like a Rails Tailwind thing. So Rails Tailwind, let's see. I think you just install Tailwind CSS like normally, and then once Tailwind is installed, then you can just use the pre-built UI components that they're giving you here. So Tailwind Rails, so bundle add Tailwind Rails, sure. And then we come over here and we say bundle add Tailwind Rails. Okay, and then I'm going to say install Tailwind CSS. I think this is probably like creating JavaScript files for me. Yeah, yarn add, so it's adding it. And it's adding like post CSS, which I think is helpful. When run on an app using the asset pipeline, the last step just adds a purger compressor to production.rb. This ensures that that is called, okay. It also adds a style sheet link tag to your app views HTML. Okay, cool. So that's like sort of installing everything for me, I think, maybe. I think I might have to restart the server. So I'll restart Rails. And then if I come back over here, like I'm just hoping that this looks way better. I don't know if it will. Let's see. So refresh the page and maybe. Is there anything else I have to do? Just 2 steps. You run this bundle thing and then you run this thing and nope. Okay, what else do I got to do? I think because I'm using assets, I might need to start up the Webpacker or something. Let's see. What's going on here? This usually happens when your environment has changed since running npm install. Run this to download the bindings for your current environment. Okay. And yeah, I'm just going to say Rails. I'm going to restart the Rails server, and then I'm going to split this and then try to set up the startup Webpacker. I don't know if I actually need Webpacker or not, but let's see. Refresh. Nada. Okay, so Webpacker. Whoops. Wait, yeah, do I need that? Rails Webpacker install. And then dev, wait, Webpacker, Webpack dev server? No. Oh. Bin Webpack dev server. Project is running, webhook output. Okay, file not import. Okay, so wasn't able to import this. Wasn't able to import or find this thing. Tailwind CSS base. So do I need to like yarn add that? Yarn add Tailwind CSS base. So I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants a little bit because the documentation here is about just installing it directly, and I'm trying to use this gem, which is supposed to help a little bit, but I don't know if it's actually working. Does anybody, how many stars does this thing have? 261? All right. Repository not found. Import Tailwind base. Yeah, it's not able to find that. So let's Google around. SAS errors, failed to import this thing. Okay. For some reason, I needed to add the CSS extension to each of these. Okay. Wait, what? Okay, let's say Rails Webpacker install. I don't know for sure if I actually installed Webpacker. I'm pretty sure it's installed already because we had that Webpacker dev server. But just to make 100% certain, okay, identical. Do I want to change that? No. I want to open PostCSS though. Okay. So PostCSS config. This is where I think the magic happens for Tailwind is in PostCSS because it is a PostCSS plugin, I believe. Stuff is happening. Things are happening. Okay, failed to compile. Here we go. So this is the same error I was having earlier. All right, so in application, let me go over here and see if I can add CSS to the ends of those and see if that fixes it. Because I didn't realize this was a file that was already created. So let's go there. And let's try this. Yeah, so .css. Yep, I think that might have been it. Nope. Okay, cannot find module Tailwind CSS now from the post CSS loader. Okay, npm yarn add Tailwind CSS, maybe. The engine node is incompatible with this module. Expected version greater than 12 point. Okay, so then node-env versions, node-env local, that really fancy new version, and then try adding it again. npm install yarn. Try it again. Oh, come on. That looks promising. Okay, so I had to use Node 14.7. That was just like a version that I had on my machine that was greater than 12. I usually use 10.16, 10.17, so, but I have a couple newer versions installed with Node-env. So I jumped to 14.7, which had yarn, which now installed all the stuff. And let's see if I can restart the Webpack dev server and if it will not be mad at me anymore. Let's see, it's going to try to recompile all the things. Webpacker is compiling. Gosh, it's wild how many like hoops you have to dance through to get Webpacker working with Rails. Okay, what is it saying now? No such file or directory to Tailwind config, style sheets Tailwind config. So I think I might need to like run that Tailwind install thing again because I think I might have blown it away. Let's see. Just run this again. When I reinstalled Webpacker, I think I might have wiped out some of the stuff that came with this. Okay, it exists and there's a conflict. Do I want to overwrite applications SCSS? No, because I added the .css and that changed everything. Okay, so now it says created Tailwind config file, Tailwind config.js. Now if I refresh, oh, okay, so it's not crashing anymore, but it is totally crashing. Failed to compile. What is the deal? Okay, let's restart the dev server for Webpacker. And compiled successfully. Oh, but there's no CSS showing up. Okay, what else do I need to do here? So let's go over to our application HTML ERB. And I think we might need style sheet link tag Tailwind, maybe. Let's see. Hey, look at that beautiful table. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. Okay, cool. So that's how you install Tailwind CSS with Rails. You fight with Webpacker a lot, and then you end up with something that works. Cool. Yeah, Webpacker inside of Rails is kind of a mess. I really hope that gets addressed in some future version so that you can just yarn add something and it consistently works. I wish saying Rails server would also start up the Webpack dev server so you don't have like two different. This is like a weird smell, right? That you have a Webpack dev server and your Rails server running next to each other. It should just be the same thing, I think. I don't know. The experience is rough inside of Rails, but man, this is beautiful. Look at this. Okay, so name, title, email, role, and then an edit button. Cool. So we're gonna like try to drop our stuff into the same thing. So we go to our form for index. Again, this is for like a bunch of Form 4 filings from the US Security and Exchange Commissions. I'm actually going to split this so that I can look at all of my headings and all of these headings here. So ticker, and then date, and is officer, Is director, let's see, is 10% owner, some shares, shares after, and then percent change. We'll put them all in there. And then the insider's name. Okay, and then here, so inside the T body, I want to iterate over all the form 4s for this page. And I want to spit out the, this is going to be a link to the form 4 company.ticker.upcase. And that's going to link to the company. So I don't know, like I'm going to have to figure out how to pass Tailwind classes when I'm using like the Rails helpers, which should be fine. Form 4 dot file date. Let's just see how that looks right now. Okay, something is exploding. Form 4 dot count, paginate. I'm like probably missing something. Oh, right. At the end of the TR here, I need like end. Oh, sweet. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Okay, but one of the things that looks kind of dorky is that it's like edge to edge. And I would probably just leave it like that if it's only going to be me using this. But let me try to like figure out how you're supposed to actually do this. So from the Tailwind docs, I'm hoping there's some sort of like top level container thing that tells me, let's see, no, components. Is there like a very top level page? Stacked layouts. What is that? Okay, I'm guessing this dashboard thing is supposed to go at the top and then you put your actual dashboard inside. I don't know. Let's see what the code looks like. Oh wow, that's a lot of code. Okay, copy. And then I'm going to go over to my, I'm just going to dump it in application HTML. Because this is going to be, this is like my master layout sort of. And I'm going to paste in the entire thing and say, I need to move this yield to where like the content is actually rendered. And I'm guessing that it's supposed to be like in here somewhere. Well, it says in the comment there very nicely, replace with your content. So let me just paste yield there and we'll have the div below it just in case. And then we'll come back over here and refresh. Oh my God, that is incredible. My mind is blown right now. I love being able to just copy and paste like that. Okay, well worth the 250 bucks. Thank you very much. This is amazing. Holy smokes. Like I'm used to just going to like Theme Forest and like downloading a whole theme and trying to like extract different components and pieces of it, but it doesn't give you it in this componentized way that helps like build each of the pieces together. So man, this is so nice. Holy smokes. Okay, I don't know how to make this thing go away, but whatever, we can figure that out. So we've got the dashboard and then we have like the number of form 4s and then some numbers here. That this is our pagination. There's probably like a pagination component or something, but let's keep filling out the table. And yeah, also, yeah, what does it look like at the bottom here? Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. I think that's totally fine. I don't know, like if I delete this div here, I don't know if that's gonna ruin stuff, but probably not. Yeah, okay, totally fine. Totally fine. All right, so our application layout is good enough for me right now. We can go back and add the links in the dashboard later. That's cool. But let's keep going with the content here. So what do we got next? We've got our file date, and then we need like our officer, director, 10% owner. Let's see. So, all right, so got our file date. We got is officer, is director, is 10% owner, is other, some shares after, and then this one is going to be insider.name, and we'll just delete those, refresh the page. Okay, so now this thing is kind of blowing up because I have this, there's like an edit this edit thing, but I kind of want to figure out how to move this class into my link tag. So link to, and then I think I can say, maybe I can say just like class. Does that work? Yeah, it totally worked. Look at that, beautiful. Now these are links. And now I just need to delete that one at the bottom, this one. And I think, yeah, we can just like delete the rest of this page and we should be good to go. Okay, so I'm off by 1, right? I've got the ticker date is officer, director, 10% owner. The sum shares stuff is actually like form 4.sum shares after form 4.percent change. Oh, I missed an R. I missed an R. Oh, sweet. Okay, let's make that like a percentage. No, is that not a thing? Rails percentage ERB helper. Number 2%. Okay. Oops. Okay, what's number 2 percentage? I mixed them up. Boom, look at that, 0%, minus 4%. Okay, but something is still off by 1. So director, officer, director, 10% owner, and other, got it. So this should be is other. Again, we're continuing to work on our tool for tracking insider trades from the SEC's filings. And we're building just like a way to alert and notify ourselves when those happen. And so what we're looking at right now is individual trades that have been filed with the SEC. We see the ticker symbol for the company that was bought. So it looks like David here bought some Palantir on April 15th, and David is an officer. He bought 995 shares, which is like a drop in the bucket for David. It's less than, I mean, it's 0% basically of his holdings. I'm guessing he's probably just got some sort of like, maybe this was part of his paycheck, right? And then a couple other folks here, they're selling, whatever. But this is super cool. This was incredibly easy to install and get set up with Tailwind UI. So I'm gonna actually drop it there and call that good. And then I'm gonna go in and play around with some more of the components and try to make this thing look really beautiful. One of the other thing too that's weird is that like the insider's name is sometimes super long. And if we go even like, I think to page 1, like Andreessen Horowitz fund with like all the LPs and all the people who invested in, what is this? Okay, so this is a Coinbase sale from April 14th. And yeah, like negative infinity. They sold all their shares, right? And so, but the name of this insider is like super massive. So I probably just want to truncate after 80 characters or something. So is there a Rails truncate helper? There's probably a way to do this in CSS. I don't know, is there like a Tailwind truncate? I don't know. Text overflow. How do you do that? Truncate. No way. There's a truncate? Okay, so let's see. Insider name. Can I just say like truncate here? Truncate. Is that gonna work? No. Okay, I'm assuming that depends on, truncate. Yeah, I bet it depends on like the width of the thing like being fixed somehow, which I don't know how to do. So medium overflow clip. That's for responsive design when you're on a medium device though, I think, right? So, yeah, so screen size. So how the heck, do I have to like make the width fixed for this table data? Fix width table data Tailwind. Table layout, let's see. Max width. This is kind of what I want. Yeah, max width. Medium? I don't know. Is that would be super cool if I could just drop that on there. Let's see. Oops. All right. Max WM. Oh, MD. So I think there's a bunch of little like rules that you learn over time about. Oh my goodness, so sick. Okay, that was like incredibly easy. Look at that. That's so beautiful. All right, so let's make it even smaller. Max width, small. Okay, that's cool. All right, so the other thing that I think is like all of this is officer, director, owner. This is like trash in the table. Like I'm not able to actually like visualize what this means. So I think I'm going to change how that's laid out. But yeah, I think I'm like incredibly impressed that this thing worked. Like this, I didn't think this was going to work out of the box with just like Tailwind stuff. I thought I'd have to do that with Rails. So really, really impressed, really cool. And yeah, thanks for Tailwind, folks. And I'll call it there. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate a quick like, and I'll continue hacking around on this project. So if you want to follow along, go ahead and subscribe. And then, yeah, as always, we'll see you next time. Cheers.